Imagine starting a new life in a foreign land, chasing the promise of paradise, only to find yourself entangled in a web of deceit, drugs, and death. Thailand, with its pristine beaches and neon-lit streets, may seem like a haven for adventure and escape. But beneath the surface lies a dark underbelly, where one wrong move can cost you everything. This is the story of Wayne Schneider, a notorious Hell's Angel whose quest for a fresh start ended in a brutal murder, one that would send shockwaves through the criminal underworld of Pattaya, the bags in the Gulf. It all started on a quiet pre-dawn morning in the Gulf of Thailand. The sun hadn't yet risen, but the darkness was broken by the quiet movement of a boat. Suddenly, bags filled with unknown contents splashed into the water, sinking slowly into the deep. The sea swallowed them without a trace, but what lay inside those bags was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. By the next day, the beaches of Thailand, usually a symbol of peace and beauty, revealed a chilling secret. 2 large bags containing crystal methamphetamine, ice, had washed ashore. It was clear that illegal trade was at play, but this was more than just another drug bust. The discovery marked the beginning of a much larger, darker tale, a tale of betrayal, drugs, and murder, leading to the brutal killing of Wayne Schneider. The rise and fall of Wayne Schneider, from Australia to Thailand. Wayne Schneider was a man who lived on the edge, always looking for the next high-stakes opportunity. A towering figure in Australia's criminal underworld, Schneider wasn't just a member of the Hells Angels, he was a key player in Sydney's methamphetamine trade. His life revolved around drugs, power, and danger, and it was only a matter of time before the law caught up with him. In 2012, after the Australian police discovered 2 meth labs tied directly to Schneider, the walls began closing in on him. Facing criminal charges and a growing list of enemies, Schneider did what many men in his position would do. He ran. He left Australia behind, hoping to start fresh in Thailand, where he could blend into the crowded, chaotic streets of Pattaya. But Thailand wasn't just a place to escape the law. It was a playground for criminals like Schneider, a place where people with money and connections could hide in plain sight. For 3 years, Schneider soaked up the sun, partied in the neon-lit streets, and made new alliances. But what he didn't realize was that his past was creeping up on him, closer than ever before. A dangerous friendship, the meeting of Schneider and Antonio Bagnato. If there's one truth that rings through this story, it's this: you can't outrun your past. This was something both Wayne Schneider and Antonio Bagnato learned the hard way. Antonio Bagnato, better known in fighting circles as Tony Bang, was no stranger to violence. A skilled Muay Thai fighter, Bagnato wasn't just a sportsman. He had a criminal past that stretched back to the streets of Australia. In 2014, he was wanted in connection to the murder of Bradley Dillon. While his cousin Diego Carbone was eventually convicted for that crime, Bagnato fled Australia and made his way to Thailand. It wasn't long before Bagnato and Schneider crossed paths. They shared more than just their Australian roots. Both men were deeply involved in the criminal underworld. Their bond grew quickly, and soon they were seen together frequently, an unlikely duo bound by crime, power, and their hunger for more. But their friendship wasn't built on trust. It was a fragile alliance that would soon unravel with deadly consequences. Enter Luke Cook and Tyler Gerard, the expanding web of crime. In this world of dangerous connections, another key player emerged: Luke Cook. A bar owner in Pattaya, Cook appeared to be just another expat enjoying life in Thailand. But under the surface, he was deeply involved in the criminal underworld. His bar wasn't just a social hub. It was a meeting point for shady dealings, whispered rumors, and even the infamous St. Michael Fight Club. Cook wasn't alone in this game. There was also Tyler Gerard, a 21-year-old American who had come to Thailand seeking adventure. But adventure quickly turned into a nightmare for Gerard. He found himself mixed up with people like Bagnato and Schneider, and soon his name would be tied to one of the most brutal crimes in Pattaya's history. Gerard didn't come to Thailand looking for trouble, but trouble found him. He was young, impressionable, and eager for excitement. What he didn't realize was that he was playing with fire, and in this world, the stakes were life or death. A deadly turn. Wayne Schneider's murder. December 2015 was the moment when everything changed. What had started as a life of crime and camaraderie between Schneider and Bagnato took a deadly turn. That night, the quiet streets of Pattaya were interrupted by the sounds of a violent struggle. Eyewitnesses reported seeing figures dragging a man towards a black pickup truck before speeding off into the night. The man was Wayne Schneider, and within hours, his fate would be sealed. Schneider's body was found the next day in a shallow grave. Thai police quickly identified him and began piecing together the events that led to his brutal murder. CCTV footage revealed that Schneider had been abducted, and blood traces found in the pickup truck matched his DNA. The question that haunted investigators and the public was why? What had led to this violent end? The dark underbelly. A drug deal gone wrong. As investigators dug deeper, the motive behind Schneider's murder became clearer. It all boiled down to a drug deal gone wrong. Schneider had paid Luke Cook $10 million for 500 kilograms of methamphetamine, but the drugs never arrived in Thailand. Instead, they were dumped into the Gulf of Thailand from Cook's yacht, Joe Mandy, as police patrols grew suspicious. With $10 million lost and no drugs to show for it, tensions escalated. Schneider demanded his money back, and the situation spiraled out of control. What began as a business deal turned into a deadly confrontation. Antonio Bagnato, along with Tyler Gerard and 2 other men, was tasked with abducting Schneider, a job that ended in murder. For Bagnato, it was a moment of desperation. He was already a wanted man, and now he had blood on his hands once again. But in the world of crime, loyalty is a rare commodity, and soon the people involved would start turning on each other. The arrests and trial. Justice or escape? It didn't take long for the Thai police to close in on the suspects. Bagnato was caught after fleeing to Cambodia, while Tyler Gerard was arrested near the Cambodian border. Luke Cook and his wife also found themselves at the center of the investigation as police raided their home and uncovered a lavish lifestyle funded by drug money. In 2018, the Thai courts handed down their sentences. Antonio Bagnato was sentenced to death for his role in Schneider's murder. Luke Cook and his wife were also sentenced to death for their involvement in the drug deal, while Tyler Gerard, who cooperated with authorities, received a lesser sentence of 3 years in prison. But the story didn't end there. In 2021, after years of legal battles and appeals, the Thai Supreme Court acquitted Luke Cook and his wife. Their acquittal raised questions about the reliability of key witness testimonies and whether justice had truly been served. The lingering questions. Was justice served? Even as the dust settled, the story of Wayne Schneider's murder left many questions unanswered. While Bagnato faced the death penalty and Gerard was released after serving his time, 2 other suspects involved in the abduction remained at large. They had fled Thailand and were never brought to justice. For many, the acquittal of Luke Cook and his wife was a shocking twist. Was it a case of wrongful conviction, or had they simply escaped justice due to technicalities? And what about the key witness, Douglas Shoebridge, whose testimony had been instrumental in Cook's conviction, only for him to become a wanted man for his own crimes? The lines between guilt and innocence blurred in this tangled web of crime. What remained clear, however, was the high price Schneider paid for his involvement in the underworld. In Thailand, paradise and peril exist side by side. For those who dare to cross into the world of illegal drugs and crime, the consequences can be severe, even fatal. The cost of a dangerous life. Wayne Schneider's story is a cautionary tale about the allure of power, money, and crime. Thailand, with its vibrant streets and beautiful beaches, promised a fresh start. But for Schneider, it became a deadly trap, His life, filled with risky decisions and dangerous alliances, ultimately led to his violent end. For those entangled in this web, Bagnato, Cook, Gerard, and others, the line between survival and destruction was thin. And as we look at their fates, one can't help but wonder, was it all worth it? Could they have ever escaped this world? Or was their path to ruin set in stone the moment they entered the dangerous underworld of crime?